Okay, first question I wanted to ask was with the new album, you know, sounding a bit more like the earlier stuff, I mean, at least to me, and bringing in the guests. How do you come up with the idea for the guests? How did you?
Most of them are friends of mine. I had just met Eve recently through a friend of mine, Londell McMillan. And most of the people are friends, and
but how does it get to the point where you say, these are my friends, and I want to have them on my album? How did you, I mean, where did you say, well, they're that good friends that I want to have them on my album?
You heard Maceo Parker play before?
Okay.
Yeah.
No, but it's not an obvious connection, like Gwen Stefani being on your album. I mean, I wouldn't make that connection just, you know, off the bat. Hearing her sing and then...
Well, people are all the same, deep down. And once you get to know somebody, you can always find some sort of commonality. So, musicians, pretty much, you just tell them what key to go into, and it just fall right into the language. It's a language we all speak.
Okay.
So how was it with people like Sheryl Crow and Gwen Stefani? Did they just show up at the studio, or like say, show them what key and?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, Sheryl Crow is a very talented musician. You know, you say, "Want to put some harmonica on here?" And she says, "Yeah." And then she breaks out all her harmonicas. She says, "What key?" I say, "B." And the rest is, you know, very easy.
Okay.
Wow.
Another question I have is, knowing that you have spent months and months in the studio and having come up with some of the most innovating studio techniques over the years, how do you keep it interesting for yourself? I mean, knowing that the technology is going, you know, a lot faster. For example, the stuff that you did back in the 80s with, you know, backwards tape and stuff like that. Nowadays, any kid with a PC in a bedroom could do that stuff.
There's one catch. The kid with the PC in the bedroom can't play his instrument.
Right.
You know, he can make some sounds, and then you can get a vast amount of repetition. But if they didn't take the time to learn their instrument and their scales, and to actually speak the language of music, then they can't play with somebody like Sheryl Crow. All they can do is watch.
Okay. But then, and seeing the technology go further and further, how do you keep it interesting for yourself? Do you try out new techniques, or do you just...
Well, technology is always been here in some form. Music, on the other hand, you know, you can always find a new person to learn their instrument properly and then invent something new with it. The technology is just, it's pretty much the same. It's been the same since I first had a drum computer. I mean, that hasn't really changed, you know. You're locked in a certain sort of sound and formation when you're dealing with computers and machines.
It's true.
They're actually very boring. For me.
Really?
Yeah.
So you prefer to like play with musicians, really?
I prefer jamming with Larry Graham, or something like that. You know what I mean? It's a lot different.
Okay.
Does it have I mean, I want to go to something totally different. Does it mean something important for you to come back to Holland? Because I know Holland's really important for you, and the crowd here has like always been like mad about you. Coming back here, does that have something special for you, or is it just like...
Every day now is brand new with me since I changed my name, and this album, Raven to the Joy Fantastic, sounds like and feels like my second record. Like, it's the second record that I've recorded in Freedom, so I'm really excited to bring my new band. I always have new musicians with me and stuff. I want to bring my new crew here and make some noise.
Could you talk a little bit about that new gained freedom you have? Because I know for a lot of like fans probably won't understand what happened with the stuff that happened with your old record company, what's happening now. Is it possible to explain it like for normal people?
Well, when a kid's in his bedroom making music with his friends, it's a lot different than when he goes to sign with a record company and starts recording for an actual company. You know, the music you make with and for your friends is different and feels different than when you're actually doing it for a living. So I wanted to get back to the feeling I had when I first started. And once I changed my name, got out of the contract, and just changed some of the people in my life, then the music gained a new freshness and sound that I haven't felt since I first started.
Knowing that you've had a lot of problems with the industry and seeing the development.
I didn't really have any problems with the industry.
Oh, really?
No, I had problems with contracts. I have problems with working for 20 years and then giving the music away where I have no ownership. That's what I kind of have a problem with. The industry works as it works.
Okay, but there's kind of an evolution going on, or revolution, as we can say, with internet and MP3 and all that stuff. Does that mean anything to you? Because I know you released your album through the internet, but do you think that's going to change a lot, or are going to people still going to just buy records and see it as a phase?
I think I think people like the interaction of going to record stores and being in society and amongst other people. Purchasing music and talking about it. What it has done, though, is open up conversations and communications with record company executives and artists. When artists have more freedom to do and release their music the way they want, then record company presidents have to take note of that.
True.
Perhaps loosen up some of these bindings in the contracts.
Right, but you don't see it as something that you would, actually do. I mean, just like do it for free, just put the music out there for free or something.
I haven't considered it.
Okay.
I make a lot of money, and I'm very successful doing it all kinds of different ways. Free to me is, I don't know, that kind of means that your music's not really worth anything. There has to be some sort of interaction, I would suppose.
I get that.
Can you say, talk a bit about the new video? It's going to be released soon. What's it going to be about?
It's going to be about unity. It's kind of a counter to what's going on now with a lot of the unity bashing that happens in the videos. It's a lot of women's body parts and not much of the woman. So this is just me and a woman in a video, and it deals with interaction and unity.
How important are videos? I mean, they've been important to your career, but are you really involved with it nowadays, or are you?
No, it's not as important.
More like a means to an end, that you have to do it?
Well, I don't have to, but I do them when I see the need, but I'm a performer by nature, so I really get off on the interaction with people in a big stadium type atmosphere.
Right, that's another question I had, is that because seeing both sides that are equally successful, being the live part and the studio part, is there one that you prefer?
No. No, they're so different, and the studio is so personal, and again, the stadium situation is
it's
about
completely
interaction.
different. Right. Okay. Another question I had is that in the past you've had a lot of songs of yours coming up in the charts, and that other people covered, like the Bangles and Sinead O'Connor, but we haven't seen any of that lately. Is that something you decided you don't want to do anymore? Or?
Well, I've been out of the industry for a while now. The music industry per se that everybody's used to, the videos and the pop bands and all that kind of stuff. I've just been laying back and revamping my life and learning, so you might see some more of that in the future.
How about the cover? Because obviously if you don't give them new tunes, people tend to cover your material. What do you think of that? Like Genuine and I think Tom Jones and people like that?
Well, I was just hanging out with Tom recently, and we talked a little bit about that. It's kind of a touchy subject.
Right, you don't have to say if you like it or not, but just how do you feel?
Well, it's a different version of something that is already complete and perfect in my eyes. So it's like you know, taking your kid and putting him in some new clothes and saying you can go back home now. And just, I don't know, it's different.
Right. Okay. And what about contemporary artists? What kind of music do you listen to when you, do you listen to music all the time, or is it just something, is there kind of a record that you come home to and just you say, now this is what I'm going to listen to? Or would that music be not contemporary?
Yeah, it's probably not contemporary stuff I listen to. I like a lot of Larry Graham and, you know, the classics.
That's a coincidence.
Yeah, Miles and Carlos Santana, and people like that. Back to the issue of people covering your music, though. The record company has a law that they've written and come up with called a compulsory license. That means somebody can just cover your music and you can't stop them if they get a clearance from your publisher. Well, the publisher doesn't write the song, so the way that they make money is to get your music covered. So when all these people start popping up singing my songs, I'm not the one approving these, so I don't have any say-so over what that is.
Okay.
That's a problem.
Is it?
Yeah, no, that's a problem. You know, it would be nice if I could say yes or no, but it is my song.
Yeah, then at least the artist that would get granted, you know, they'd know that they especially get to do it. Right.
And see, you get the situation where somebody can take a song like I Can Never Take the Place of Your Man and then completely slow it down and change chords and what have you. Or somebody can take When Doves Cry and change words.
Yeah.
Well, that's a problem,
you
know, because that's not the song anymore. And then to say that I wrote it is unfair, I would think. What do you think?
I think you're right.
Well, all right. You ask the next question.
Yeah, hang on. What's going on? About the new album, a lot of critics said that it's been it's been the best album since a long time, and because I know you regained your freedom, and you said it's like your second album again. It's like for you a new challenge.
They really said that?
Yeah, they said.
I feel great now. This is great. This is a great day.
See, I knew I should tell you this. But live, is it going to be something like, is that same new feeling is going to be added to the live thing, or are you just going to, I mean, can we expect what we always saw?
Oh my goodness, with Larry Graham in the band?
Oh man.
Are you kidding? That's Sly and the Family Stone's bass player, right?
I know.
Graham Central Station? Oh. Everything's different. Maceo Parker coming gigging with us? I mean, you know.
Oh, is he in a live band?
Oh yeah.
Who else is going to be with you?
Candy Dolfer, some dates.
Right.
A lot of people have expressed interest. I just recently heard Carlos Santana wants to tour with us. So, you know,
that'd be interesting.
That's one of them situations I'd open for him just so I could watch. It takes me a long time to get ready.
Because you're on the same label? Or is that not?
I'm not on a label.
Oh, right, it's true.
Raven to the Joy Fantastic is released.
Okay.
Yeah, a label,
sorry. But
I'm not on a label. I'm not signed to a contract.
How can you explain that a little bit?
Well, contracts are binding in the sense that they tie up your future. You know, how do you know what you'll be recording and feeling like 3 or 4 albums from now? A lot of times the company presidents change. I was in a situation with Warner Brothers. I'd make a meeting with the president and he wouldn't even be there the following week, you know, because the presidents were changing so quickly. So, you know, it's better to make an agreement. It's like, we have agreed to sit down and talk here. We didn't say we're going to talk and do interviews every year for 7 years, right?
No.
Exactly.
Okay. It doesn't even make sense, does it? All right.
But now you have an agreement which is like purely verbal between you and the record company.
Pretty much. I mean, when so little is covered in 2 or 3 pieces of paper, it just becomes a gentleman's agreement at that point, as all things should be. You know, sooner or later we have to learn to trust one another. A contract just simply means you don't trust that person. It simply means you expect something to go wrong. That's
true.
In sickness and health till death do you part. That's what a contract means. I don't plan on being sick. Don't plan on dying. So,
thank you,
Dave. Oh, okay. One of the things I really
did you steal that shirt?
I brought it actually.
Oh, all right.
Do I look like I stole it?
You know, it makes it cool. I was wondering why you pumping up the Holiday Inn on your show.
Well, it's a hotel, motel, Holiday Inn, like the lyric.
Like the what?
The what's it called again? Rapper's Delight.
Oh, okay.
One of the things I used to really like was the movies that you did, but apart from a small cameo, there's some controversy about it, whether it's you or not, in Fargo. But apart from that, we haven't seen you in movies for a while. Do you have plans to do that?
We're working on a documentary right now. It's kind of a documentary, and it's kind of a comedy. There's a lot of craziness in it.
It's a documentary of a comedy?
No, documentary slash comedy concert film. It's just kind of like a crystal ball on film, if that makes sense. So it's just wildness. So we're working on that right now.
Okay, and what about that Fargo issue? Is it true? Is it you? Or?
I don't know. Is it?
Well, that will be the interview then.
All right.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.